Okay.
So,
Valerie would have to be the observer. What?
I think first things first, we should acknowledge, especially for Valerie, that Obama won. And
I figured that was going to come up. See, and the reason I didn't put it on the agenda, the only reason I put it on the agenda, because I got to figure out what the hell they're thinking first. Why and what and everything. Because I don't know any details about that.
I think, they said it came out of the blue. It was a total surprise.
To the Nobel Peace people?
No, to the world, including him.
Oh, okay.
But then I just heard on the radio a short time ago that he was nominated for the award 11 days after the election.
Oh, really?
Or I don't know if it's 11 days after the election or after being appointed, which means that his staff nominated him. That's the way I'm interpreting it. Okay.
Are all the nominations anonymous?
I don't know. Send.
I'm guessing McCain nominated him.
McCain nominated him.
Send to.
I got Butterfingers. Hang on.
Yeah, send to. You either hit the OK button down there or the center OK button. See the OK button down there? Hit the green button.
Yeah, but.
Hit it. Then go down to phone book. Just use that one. Just hit down. And then hit OK. And then scroll down to mum. You can hold it down. It goes faster. Or you can just type MUM down there. Now hit down again. Yeah, that's it. Now hit OK again. And then hit the right button over here. Far right, send.
Right here?
Yep. There you go.
There's your 5-minute texting list. There's this thing on Jay Leno, or I don't know if it was Jay Leno or Conan. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was. They had just some correspondent on there teaching old people how to Twitter. It's the funniest things. These people are like 70, 80 years old.
Had they heard of Twitter?
No. It was just so funny. And they're all getting into it. They're like, okay. They're like, now, celebrities and people are on Twitter. You can follow them, find out what they're doing. Now, who would be somebody some of you would want to find out what they're doing? And one old woman raises her hand and says, Bernie Madoff. And then the lady's like, I don't think they're allowing him to Twitter where he is.
Well, everybody knows that the Nobel Prize Committee is liberal as all get out. And so...
This is why I'm kind of skeptical and why the hell this is happening. Like, when that happened, the first person I thought it was Nancy Pelosi, because just the way that came out just seemed like totally something like Nancy Pelosi would do, You
mean to nominate him?
Well, yeah. And just how it's just like, oh, he's in the no. I'm like, for what? I mean, I want to know what, I mean, I love Obama, but seriously, that's supposed to be the most prestigious honor,
How do you answer that?
What?
How do you answer
That's
that?
why we weren't going to talk about it, because nobody knows why.
I don't know. Well, you said it's liberal. I don't know. I think they were showing other U.S. presidents that have won that. And there's like Theodore Roosevelt.
If what I heard on the radio was right,
That's
Theodore
surprising.
Roosevelt won for ending a war.
Okay.
Woodrow Wilson won for ending a war.
Okay. We haven't ended a war yet.
Someone else, I'm not sure who it was. Was it? I can't remember the third one they mentioned.
I can't either.
And then I also heard it talked about in terms of that it wasn't for what he's done, that it was for encouragement for what he will do.
What?
Yeah.
Now, see, that's what I was afraid of. That's what I was afraid of, and I do not agree with that. I think he's a great person. Yes, he should be praised, but to go that far, that kind of demeans the feeling of the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, and then I just heard a few seconds of his speech recognizing this and saying something about, yeah, I'm going to continue my efforts. We're going to go out there and show Iran a thing or two. Or obviously, I'm paraphrasing. But what he said in there was...
We're going to show my thing or two.
What he said in there, is it turned on?
Yeah. Can you see any of it? I just want to make sure that thing keeps moving.
I see. heartbeats or something.
Yeah, just
There's
make
only
sure-
two. There's only two hearts. There's only two beating.
There's only 2 hearts at this table.
Might stop eating.
Who's got one? Keep going. Sorry.
Just something about, you know, what was I talking about?
At
His speech. His speech. That he went on to say things in his speech that were, you know, a little bit rabble rousing. You know.
What do you mean?
Well, just like I said, we're going to show Iran a thing or two. I mean, you know, we're going to lay down our arms and be peaceful. You know.
Something you wouldn't expect him to say, you mean?
Yeah, I wish I could remember exactly what it was.
It's almost November. See, who was I talking? I was talking to somebody the other day about. Oh, I think it was one of my coworkers. They're like, "How do you not know about such and such?" How do you know? I'm like, because I tried to explain to them. I said I made a pact that I would not, after the election, I would not get into any political news or news period if I could help it for a year. Not watch the
I
news.
haven't understood why you think you can get an exemption for that.
Exemption for what?
From paying attention.
Well, no, I
You
mean, if
always have to
something's
pay
happening,
attention.
well, yeah, if something is happening right in front of my face, it's not like I'm going to say, nope, I don't want to know about it. It's not like I'm doing that. Plus, I'm still getting my tweets of like CNN and MSNBC and all that stuff. So that's where was I going with that?
So
I can't remember.
you just heard about this?
Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I got an email today, and I got it on my phone saying that he got it. And Obama tweeted me and said he was humbled.
You're on him?
Of course I am. Don't you remember? I was on him like back before the election
On Twitter.
on Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I have been following Barack Obama since he started Twitter.
Now that's one of those words. It's not anything bad about it necessarily, but
Twitter?
no, follow. Who are you following? I mean that's you know.
What, you
That
trying to
had-
go from your gang slang again?
Well, it's on that order. I mean, it's not bad in either context. It's just it means something now that you know. Well, before a year
I
ago,
shook my head.
before a year ago, nobody knew what Twitter was, and
Right.
now when you say you follow someone, that means a specific thing. That
But I
it
have
didn't
to
mean
say-
that before.
But I have to say, I'm following him on Twitter.
Yeah, but I don't think people are shorthanding that. Just saying
Have people told
I
you
follow
that?
so and so.
But then they'd say, what do you mean? Every time.
Well, you wouldn't if someone said that to you.
No, because people would normally say, I'm following so-and-so on Twitter. We don't shorten it.
Oh, I
Who
thought
else do you
did.
talk to that does Twitter besides me? Really? I was trying to get to the bottom of that, but I guess
How
not.
can this thing hear your voice if you're talking to its back?
Mallory, it's a mic. It goes everywhere.
It'll just be you and me the whole time.
Okay.
It's not like a block or something.
Yeah, it just seems like my voice would be louder than yours.
Remember how we had it last time? You were
Yeah,
behind
I know. Yeah, well,
it. Your
I
voice
haven't-
was perfect. Your
Oh,
voice was
okay.
perfect. I can't wait to get that together. I will soon, I promise. But I was just finishing up some other projects.
I'm having some friends over tomorrow, and I was really hoping to be able to
Oh,
play
I
it.
bet you were. I bet you were. I just have to edit it too. So, a day to remember.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yesterday, I got to send a letter to Mr. Dan Kaplan
You did from the firm or yourself?
from the firm.
What was your topic?
A case that we're involved in against him. It's just like, I don't know how to feel, you know? It's just, it's amazing.
That's weird.
I hope we kick his ass. I mean,
I didn't know that he does civil litigation.
well, he's a personal injury lawyer, I thought. He's one of those bad people.
I don't know why I thought he was a criminal lawyer. That's correct.
Because it might be Craig, yeah. I don't think they work at the, yeah, no, they don't work at the same law firm.
Oh, no.
I couldn't imagine them working
That's
together.
weird.
in law
I've been
either.
wanting to, on one of the topics that I have on the list, I'm just diametrically opposed to him on the topic. So I've been wanting
Which
to
one?
combat him on that football.
Oh, is that what he's been talking about? Oh, shit. Now, hold on. This is going to get good because you don't agree with what he thinks. So one of them doesn't think that they should play football. So which one is it?
I wonder.
I wonder who.
You?
Of course. And it's another example. He's supposed to be a conservative Republican. And he's taking this, extremely, in
Why
my
shouldn't
view,
they be allowed?
liberal standpoint on this topic. And Craig, as the other, is taking my side.
That is funny.
Yeah, well, it
Why
happens
shouldn't
all
they be
the
allowed?
time.
Why?
It happens on every topic except war.
They can join the army, but they can't play football. Really?
Well, no, he wasn't really using
Hockey.
that analogy other than
Hockey is
saying,
more- go ahead,
it's
sorry.
another reason why women should be allowed to be in combat.
What do you mean? Play with men?
Yes.
Oh, I
you
didn't know
didn't
that's what you were
understand?
talking about.
All right, here's the story.
Okay.
Some little school in Eaton, Colorado, which is up near Greeley and Windsor, they have a football team. They're going over to another town to, play. And the other town has a girl on their team. And so the Eaton team said that some of their parents feel strongly about girls playing against boys on the football team. So they didn't, if she was going to play, they didn't want to play. And so Dan has picked this up and just run wild with it. And he actually said over and over
I kind of
again,
miss him in a way.
the reason that the Eaton team didn't want to play is because they're afraid the girl would beat them.
They're afraid to what?
They're afraid that the girl, the team with the girl on it, would beat them because of the girl's.
That's their explanation?
That's what Dan, with no information whatsoever.
Oh, that's what he's saying.
He said, "I think that coach is dumb because
Wow.
he's making this decision because he's afraid to play the girl." That's stupid.
So,
And it's not very nice to say that about someone
Well, no.
when you have no idea what his reasoning was, and he just assumes that it's because he was afraid. And then the coach who made the decision, his friend called up and told him that, hey, it's not like that at all. This guy's a very quiet, private person. He's never going to call in and talk to you on your show. But believe me, he wasn't afraid. It's because some parents on the team did not want their boy to play the girl. And so he made the decision, maybe wrongly, to let those parents rule, and they said, we're not going to play. So if he made a mistake, maybe it was telling those parents that their boys could stay home that day, rather than the opposite way that he went. But it wasn't because he was afraid, and I think it was terrible for Dan to just
well, yeah, I agree with that.
impugn his character
Yeah.
with no facts. But anyways, to the basic issue, no, girls should not play on football team with boys or
Why?
any sport.
Right.
It puts the boys at an unfair disadvantage because
Unfair disadvantage?
it puts the boys at a disadvantage because
No, it wasn't the word unfair. It was the word disadvantage. I wanted to explain.
it puts them at a disadvantage because they're not going to be playing the way they normally would play. They're going to be
Why not?
because they're going to be afraid that they might hurt the girl, and so they're going to hold back. And that could not only cause them to possibly lose, but it could also cause you to get hurt. Because
Right.
your inclination would be to tackle
It's a
someone
girl,
and
right?
kill them.
But it's a girl.
But it's a girl, so you hold back, and then you get a sprain in your thigh because you quickly halted. I don't know.
Well, here's what I see, and you tell me if this works or not with what you were saying. Is that I think if a girl understands the risks and still wants to play and thinks she's strong enough to do it, and if they look at her and say that she's strong, like you get this twig girl out there, God would say, no way. Look at these guys; they're 4 times the size of you. They are going to pummel you, and you're going to be severely hurt, no matter what kind of padding you are. I can understand that. But if it's a big, beefy, like sports athletic, or like a gymnast or a soccer player, someone who's used to getting taking
Beefy
hits like
sports
that.
girl.
Sorry, that's my description there. It's a big, beefy sports girl. And if they want to play, because I've got friends who play soccer and could definitely play football if they were interested in it, And they play like the flag football or the touch football kind of thing. But if a girl really wants to, why should? I understand that their bodies aren't built like a man's and blah blah blah. But don't you also think that maybe we need to get like a scientist or a doctor out here to tell me this, but I think the reason why boys are,
Is there doctor? Is there a scientist in the house?
I think one of the reasons why boys are more durable, or not durable. What's the word? Resilient, maybe.
Yeah.
Just in that
Hardy.
way. Hardy. Okay, I say beefy and you say hardy.
Well, what do you mean exactly?
Need some Campbell's
Able
soup.
to take more punishment?
That's really being descriptive. I'm just saying being stronger and being able to take the hits
Yeah.
is because
Stamina.
boys. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Because boys grow up that way. They're growing up running into each other, beating each other up, blah, 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 where girls are buying lipstick, you know? That's being very stereotypical, but that's generally kind of how it is. They're not growing up beating each other up unless it's like sisters or something, you know, like fighting or whatever. But it all depends. Like, you know, you see the little twin girls who haven't touched anything, and then you see the big beefy girls that are playing soccer. So I would say if somebody like that, you know, wants to do that and understands the risks, you got to put it in the guys' heads too to say, look, you know, girl's going to be on this team. She's just another player.
Yeah. Well, that's.
But it's your team. You don't have to worry about hitting them.
You're completely in line with Dan.
But I'm not taking the point of, like, making personal attacks at other people
Yeah,
saying,
I
oh,
mean,
because you're a wuss or whatever.
that-
No, I'm just trying to think of it logically.
That particular part of it about attacking the other coach, that was just completely in left field, and I can't believe he did it. I mean, that was dumb. But just
Keep
on the
talking.
general
I'm gonna check
on the general topic of should they play, he was saying, like you were, that you know, just because we all grew up thinking that boys are stronger and that girls should be buying lipstick, there could be a girl there who really wants to play football and is capable, and we should not deprive her of her right in the Declaration of Independence, no, in the United States Constitution to play this sport if she wants to. I just disagree.
Now, oh, you haven't talked yet. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I remember that happening in high school where they did allow a girl on the team, but all the guys on the team, you know, they treated her like a guy, and she took some good hits, I guess. I don't remember if she kept playing or not, but
Well, remember
Some
when
girls can do it. There's
there
some-
was a few years ago, there was a girl that was a place kicker, wasn't there, in the Denver high school? And I
for the
think,
high school,
I thought so.
I can't remember.
Isn't she that girl that is married to a guy on a television news program? Not married, the daughter of a guy on a television news program. Oh, and she went out for football at CU. Yeah, she was a place kicker at CU for
Yeah.
a brief time. I think she finally left of her own accord. I think that, yeah, there's a certain girl who might have the physique, but even if she has the physique and the agility, I just don't think she's going to have the stamina
I don't agree with
to
that.
take a
but
hit from a guy on the,
Do you
on
agree
the
with that?
team.
I don't agree with
And
that.
also the girl that they're talking about, you know what her position is? Offensive tackle. Give me a break. I mean, come on.
hey, does she want to play that position?
Yes.
Then let her play it.
But here's the thing. This team is little boys, which I don't even think they should have those leagues for little. Have you ever seen those little 6-year-old kids out there with those
Not
gigantic
the
helmets on?
6-year-olds, but one of my coworkers, the sons, plays football. He's about 10 or 13. or something.
I think it should start maybe in 6th grade.
They get their heads on everything anyway. So
I
it's
know.
like, yeah.
But at any rate, okay, let's say they're all 10 years old.
Okay.
Okay, there's more of an equality in size and all that kind of stuff. Okay, maybe that would work. But is it going to work 3 years from now? No. That girl didn't even make it at CU as a place kicker.
Well, I
Why
think it
would
was
you
more
be so
politics rather than
insistent
just.
about wanting to pursue my career in football when you know that it's not going to go any further than it's not going to even go
Well,
in
she
high
wants to
school.
have fun. She just wants to play.
Well, she could do that in another sport.
But she likes football. The only part, this is what I was going to say, the only part that I'll give you as far as agreeing with you and what makes me question it is the whole psychology of the men playing with a girl.
What do you mean?
I do agree with you there that I think the men would be feeling kind of nervous having a girl there. They don't want to hurt her, or why
don't
is
want
she
to be
here,
beat
so I'm
by
going to
her.
go after her even more or something, because guys are going to be different, you know. So that's the only part that I can join Because I do definitely believe that would be a factor. I didn't even think of that.
As a
But
mother,
as far as, well, especially, no, there you go. That was my next argument. If you're the parent, you have the sole decision of whether you want this kid to play the sport anyway.
well, yeah, and I think a parent that would say, "Yeah, pursue your dreams, girl," is stupid. But as a parent of a
Did you hear
mother,
what you just said? That is on record.
as
I
a,
think any parent that says to their child, pursue your dreams, is stupid.
pursue your dreams of being a professional, the first professional woman.
Hey, we had the
football
first
player.
professional golf player. We probably had hockey
Yes,
ones.
but golf is a non-contact sport.
Yeah, okay, well, what do you talk about the kickboxing and boxing and wrestling of women?
With each
They
other.
can't take hits?
With each other.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
they're-
sure,
they're-
I'm
they're
sure
more
women have
evenly
wrestled men
matched.
too.
Well, actually, some guys called in who wrestled in high school and said that they had to wrestle with a girl
See?
and how bad it was.
I played, oh God. I played baseball. See,
It's
I think
another
it's worse
case of-
on the men than it is the
It's
women.
another case of women trying to take the feminist thing way over the top.
How is this way over the top? They just want to play the game.
Yeah,
They're not trying to change the rules.
here's a non-combat. I mean
Non-combat.
non-contact tennis. Okay.
When
they
the
have
hell is there
tennis-
contact in
you have
tennis?
tennis doubles, boys and girls together. Of course, the girls are weaker. I mean,
Says who?
have you ever watched a tennis match
No.
on television?
I only see women when I
it's
watch
the
it,
same
though.
thing as women's basketball or anything.
They're
golf.
slower and not that great
They're
or
not-
something?
They're not as good. I mean, you can kind of get
But they
into
should
it.
still be allowed to play. Why don't they just make a
They
women's
are
football
allowed to
league?
play, but not with
To win?
boys. Anyway, that's what. What's your opinion?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sort of in the middle. He's probably on the
Yeah.
other side.
I'm in the middle. I don't know. I think if they can, I don't know.
I think if they want
Take a
to and the
tackle.
parents are okay with it, they should be allowed to play.
Oh, here's
now
another-
it's up to the men on the team to just get over their little.
well, that's what.
Fancy-pantsy.
That's what Dan said. That it's time in our world that we realize that
Now,
there's
see, I'm
no
so-
difference between men and women.
I'm so
and
shocked that
the,
Dan did this.
that the boys, it's not a good enough excuse for them to say, well, it makes me uncomfortable to
Right,
be playing
and I-
as a. You got to get over that.
I
That's
do agree with
children.
that, though. I do agree with that. There's no rule against it.
It's one thing about men, differences in wages and differences in opportunities in a career, but this is something that comes down to physical attributes.
And if they have it, why can't they play?
Okay, let's say you're the mother.
I'm the mother. Okay, I'll be the mother.
You're the mother of a 17-year-old boy,
Okay.
hefty boy.
Okay. So is he a defense linebacker or
He's not
whatever?
beefy. He's hefty.
Is he beefy or hefty or what was it? Hardy.
Beefy.
Hardy or beefy?
All of those. And he's on the defense. He's on the defensive line or something.
Okay.
And he's playing against this girl.
Okay.
And he just knocks the crap out of her.
Okay.
And breaks her leg.
Okay.
And it's a bad break, and she's not going to be able to walk again.
That bad, huh?
Yeah.
Well, then that's football.
That could happen.
That happens all the
And
time.
then-
Yes, that
and-
happens all the time. Well, not like lifetime injuries like that. That takes a lot.
And,
But that'd be a freak
you,
accident.
and you think that the parents of the girl
Well-
are not going to say, well, hey, yeah, she wanted to play, but she didn't think you were going to hit like that.
Well, then the parents are
That's their
stupid.
fault,
Then the
I
parents
mean,
are stupid,
you
and so
can't-
was the
you-
girl.
You can't see that happening?
I can totally see it happening, Valerie. But that's what I was telling you was that it's the parents' fault. If they think that they are allowing their daughter to play, then they have to accept those consequences.
Okay, so you're the parent of the boy,
Okay. Yes.
and he knows that he disabled this person for life.
He could have done that to another boy.
Yeah, but it would have. It's more likely he could do
It's
it
not
to the
working,
girl.
is it? I know, and I don't disagree there that it would be more likely to happen with the girl. But that's the thing. That's the risk they have to take for the girl and the parents of the girl for letting her into football. Everybody knows how heavy. Here we go again. Everybody knows how extreme contact football is, and if they go in there knowing those risks, then whatever happens, happens. That's the same thing that happens all the time. Players are getting hurt every week in the NFL, So, I mean, whether it happens to a boy or a girl, I don't really think that matters. I really don't ever see us having mixed-sex teams in the NFL.
No,
ever.
and that's another thing. It's a gimmick. Because this girl who says she's dying to do this because of her love for playing football,
See?
She has no chance. I mean, we all have to agree.
So why can't she have this
She's
opportunity
never
to do
going
it
to have an
now?
opportunity to play on a college or
So why not let her do it now?
What's
so
the
she can
point?
fulfill something. Because that way she can at least say she's done it, since she knows she's not going to be able to do it in the future. That's like saying a whole bunch of stuff that when you get older, I wish I had done this back then. Just to do it, because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it now. It's the same thing. So she just wants to do it. I'm sure she knows that.
I
but
think
she's
she
not-
wants to draw attention to herself.
Well, I'd have to meet her to find that out. I'm gonna get my psychology file out. I was gonna say something else about that. What the hell was it?
And footnote to this, some of the parents objected to the boys and girls playing together on religious grounds.
How the hell do you explain that one?
It's even worse to me.
I didn't know, but it's because of physical contact.
Oh my god. Anyway, what I was gonna say was, when I was in Little League, my very first year of baseball, there was a girl on my team.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that before?
No,
Harvey?
no.
There was a girl on my team.
Well, baseball is a little different.
It's a little
But-
less
but
contact. Well, a lot less. But.
It's just girls have baseball teams.
Right.
Then what's the point of even having a girls' baseball team if they're going to be able to play?
We
on
didn't
boys'
see,
team?
and when we had the girl on our team, nobody cared. Nobody made fun of
Because you
her,
were
or
about
nobody made fun of
7.
us. I don't know how old I was. You had to ask my mom. I was pretty young, yeah.
I mean,
But
it's-
aren't they? These girls or whatever? How old age are these?
I'm not sure. Anywhere from 5th grade to 7th grade, I couldn't tell on the radio. I think up till like 3rd, 4th grade, you can go out at recess and play Red Rover, Red Rover. But beyond that, keep it separate.
Yeah.
What's
Are we done with
next?
that? Why is it important that other countries like us? I don't know who wrote that down. Do you even want to talk about that?
That wasn't mine.
I wrote it down.
I just put it on there based on what we kept from last week. I don't know if you still want to talk about it.
Well, that's
Nine.
I don't even know. I don't even agree with that. I don't think.
That came up during with Bush and how he alienated the world against us, and now France hates us, and Obama is out there,
Winning
trying to
Nobel prizes for uniting us, and
exactly
Yeah, what did he get it for? Winning the election? I am a little bit upset about that.
because he's gone around the world laying down in front of all the various governments.
Laying down. Offering peace. You think we should be pissing everybody off?
he's been hooking it up, Val.
It was just mostly in opposition to Bush. People would say, "Oh, France hates us now," and it's all Bush's fault. And my point at the time that I brought that up was, why do I care?
Good, thank you, because I don't care either. I don't care if other countries like us. I live in this country. I care if I like my own country.
Now I know you don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
We got one. I think didn't we like make our definitions? Everybody, we got the Republican teacher, the liberal student, and then I'm the one that just blows everything up in the middle or something. I had a great definition for myself or something. It was like I'm just there to just cause a fuss or something. I mean, I don't think they should hate us, but I don't think they should necessarily like us.
All
don't
I
think we
mean
need
is
to
that
appease
everything
them.
being equal, yeah,
Why
let's
should
all
we-
get along.
yes, but
but
why should
when
we
it comes
appease them?
down to the final straw,
No, I don't
We're
think we
here-
should accuse them either. I'm just saying, how does it hurt to have friends out there when
Well, I don't
it
disagree with that.
doesn't. It doesn't. It's just that that's not the end all be all. I mean, we need to think of ourselves first.
Right.
True, I agree.
I
Okay.
agree too. So I think we're all on the same page with this one,
Right.
actually.
Think of ourselves first, but I'm saying it doesn't hurt to have.
Right. I don't want to
Allies.
alienate anybody.
I don't want to say friends. I want to say allies. If
That's
we're
good.
attacked, we want someone. And should we need it?
Yes.
That
we
doesn't
have
hate
the
us.
help there.
That's true. Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Well, another one settled.
That's nice. All right, good. It only took a year.
The mysteries of the universe solved.
Universal
right
car alarm deactivator.
here. Do you have one?
You mean you hear it going off in the middle of the night and you just push a button and it stops?
I believe. Now here's where it gets tricky. I'll just say what my idea is, and then we'll decide how it should be dealt with. Okay.
This
My-
is an invention?
This is an invention. Wouldn't be hard to invent, I don't think. What do you get?
That was just stupid.
Seek to assert your devotion to the worthy. Obviously,
I think you should stand up and read this at the next staff meeting.
I will
Daniel got nominated again.
for the fish thing.
No.
Oh,
Employee of the month. Employee of the month.
nominated. No, I.
Well, you didn't win it yet?
Alyssa won.
Alyssa won. Did she didn't talk to anybody anymore?
He made her stay.
That is funny. Was she
She
pissed?
doesn't
accept it.
usually come there,
Why did she go? Because she was nominated.
Yeah.
apparently.
They probably told her you gotta come.
That is funny. All right. My invention, which I don't think would be very hard to invent, is a universal car alarm deactivator. Because yes, there's situations where car alarms are going off and somebody's not there to turn it off. I understand that they eventually turn off, but I don't think that's safe either. Because somebody's breaking into your car, and then if they get down the street and it's still honking, and when have you ever seen a cop or a security guard go investigate a car alarm? When have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
They go off and nothing happens. You know, somebody could steal a car and the car alarm would go off. Oh boy, well there's no cop around to do anything
you're
about it.
so right. You hear
So-
it and you think, somebody's alarm's going off.
Yes. And what happens when that happens? Normally the people are there and they'll just turn the alarm off. Or whoever's stealing the car knows how to deactivate the alarm. What in the hell purpose are they? So, because I thought rationally and thought that they're never just going to get rid of them because people still want them. I know I do, you know, because if the
You
car's
want it
parked.
so that when you're walking away, you could go, deep, deep, beep.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, because my parking spots are all around my bedroom, so I'll be able to hear the car, assuming I'm not asleep, because if I'm asleep, I can't hear nothing. There's their clue to go steal my car in the middle of the night. But,
That may be the reason that they have them.
so I was just thinking that we should have, not for the general public at all, this is the part where we have to decide who gets it. I don't think that the general public should have it, because that way everybody can just turn one off and go steal a car. I think the cops should have them. I think, you know, anybody of any authority should have them. Like, especially like construction workers, in case they accidentally tip a car or hit a car and the alarm goes off, well then they have to call the owner, find out who the owner is, while the car alarm is just going off.
How long
They're
will
not
they
trying
go
to steal the
before they
car.
automatically cut off?
I think it depends. The reason why I brought this up, I don't remember why I brought this up when I wrote that down last year, but there was a situation a couple weeks ago when I was at my friend Josh's house, and there was a car alarm that was going off outside. And the situation was a guy was trying to get into his own car. He was there with his friend, and every time he'd open the door, the car alarm would go off, but he didn't have his keys, so he was trying to call his girlfriend, I guess, to have her bring out the keys, and she wouldn't. So they're just sitting there, and the car alarm's going off, and they can't turn it off. They're just sitting there, and he keeps calling her like, "Get out here and bring me the keys. This car won't shut up." And this is going on for like a half an hour. And it was going on about like 10 minutes at a time, maybe, if I had to guesstimate. I would say about 10 minutes at a time, and then it would just turn off. And then he'd try to do something else, and it would go off again for like a half an hour straight. I'm just like, this is retarded. So that's what made me think of that again, was like, well, first of all, the security guard never came, and they've got 24-hour security in where my friend lives.
Great.
And the security guard never came. Never came. I was sitting there looking out the window the entire time waiting for the security guard to show up. Half hour, never even showed up. Never even showed up. So that's my first gripe, obviously. No cops, no security guards. Who has ever seen that happen? And you hear a car alarm, you're supposed to go investigate. Oh, no. So that actually you know what?
But you investigated.
I investigated, but I saw that nobody was trying to steal the car, as far as I know.
But your other people were probably looking too.
If they had been, would you go down there and hit them and knock them in the head?
Get away from it.
No, because they were two big guys. You see me hold that back there? I held back another word. They were two big guys, and so.
Word.
Oh, I thought that's why you were laughing.
No.
I'm guessing he was going to say.
I didn't want to be racist on the podcast because that's why I'm afraid, and that's not why I was afraid. There were just two of them, you know, and it was none of my business. It wasn't my car. I don't give a crap, you know. Somebody wants to steal a car. Good Samaritan, maybe if I found it was some old lady's car or something, I'd go help.
Somebody wants to steal a car, more power to them.
Well, if it's some idiot 16-year-old that lives in the ghetto like them, okay, I already ruined it. Edit this out. Okay. I don't like their neighborhood. It is the ghetto. It's Aurora. So I mean,
This is
It's
all
a
getting
whore?
edited out.
this is getting out of hand here.
Did you say it's a whore?
No, Aurora
Oh,
is the
okay.
ghetto.
Whore.
Aurora is the ghetto.
Okay.
And anyone who says differently lives there.
So I think, getting back to a couple of things, I think the thing that you discovered here that's the most important is we don't really need those alarms.
No, we
because
don't.
there's nothing that happens from them.
No, we don't.
But of course, they're not going to stop putting them in the car.
Nope, they're not. That's why I figured I didn't want to complain about that one.
Another thing, I don't know if you know this, but to get a patent on something, you don't have to prove that it works.
You just have to prove.
It's a patent on an idea that
So I should go ahead and do it?
if you have enough information in there to make it conceivable that it would work the way you said, and that it is a novel
Because they're
idea.
all on computers.
That's all you have to have.
They're all on computers. And there's maybe what? How many car companies do we deal with? Maybe 10 to 20 in America.
They probably all work.
Let's try
the
to
same way.
list them all. Honda, Hyundai, Toyota, Jeep. We should be writing these down.
Not Saturn.
GMC. Why not Saturn?
They just closed them down.
Oh, they did? Okay. Chrysler.
Toyota.
I already said Toyota. Ford.
Mercedes.
Pontiac, Mercedes, BMW. Okay, let's just go with these 10. Okay.
Volvo.
Alright.
So say there's Volvos. So there's about what, 10 to 20, right? Cars in this world. Not cars in this world, but cars in the country at least. So let's just say we get the codes for all 20 of those alarms.
Does a company have one code for all their cars?
That's what I have to figure out. I'm sure not. Obviously not, because you have different keys. But I'm sure they're all in the same kind of system.
Yeah, because the bad
my
guys can
car
just learn
key.
these codes.
That's why you have to work around this. Well, just like I said, this is totally unfeasible, but I'm trying to make it work. So, like with my Volkswagen, all the keys are cut the same. It's the chips inside that are different.
Okay.
Now, for the beepers, I don't know what the hell. All it is waves. So if you just manipulate the waves, like if my friend was at my car, which is 20 miles away, and I hit my thing right through the phone, it would turn off the car. Have you ever done that before?
No.
Because it's going through the waves. All it is waves. So you just have to find out that wavelength, and I'm sure that I'll be able to tell you. You know, it's all pretty much on the same thing. And you get a universal deactivator, and you hit the button. It's like a universal remote. When you hit one button, it activates all different things. You just got to get a remote that when you hit it, it activates all the wavelengths of all the types of cars.
And you
until
want
it
them
turns
to
off.
issue these to policemen?
Policemen, I guess, construction workers, just anybody who deals in some sort of authority or in the like public well-being. Because if they're not around a car and that car is just going off, even if a cop does show up and there's nobody stealing the car, it's still a public annoyance.
Okay, well, how do you issue these to the policemen? I mean, you have to have a license to have a.
And I guess
Universal.
we could also have them log. And when we like every
A
time
rock?
they hit log, every time you hit the button, it logs it and it tells what car that you deactivated, and then they have to send a letter to that owner and say, "Look, we had to deactivate your car." See, it's this big old long list of things.
It could
More
be a
tax
part of
money.
OnStar.
That's what I was going to say. Consider it that way. Maybe cars will all
But
eventually go
not
that way in the
everybody
future.
has on,
In the future. I
and people
said.
have to pay for that too. See,
In the future.
okay.
That'll be coming. That somebody, the police can call whoever.
Well, actually,
I have never met anybody with
I
OnStar.
bet you OnStar already has it. I mean, if they could say,
Well, yeah, if a car alarm goes off, I'm sure they get notified.
we can unlock the car for you, well, they can probably turn it off for you.
They should, because they probably, when they hear the car alarm go off, they probably call and say it's just like a house alarm. So maybe what I'm talking about here is everybody needs to get frickin' OnStar.
Okay,
Mystery
well,
solved.
all right, I just want to ask you, how much did Josh pay you for mentioning his name on the podcast?
Oh, he didn't pay me anything.
You went out of your way to say, my friend Josh.
Well, you guys know my friend Josh.
Yeah, I do, but
Oh, he's on all my
I
video
thought maybe
projects.
he wanted to have his name mentioned.
Okay. Does our political system give us the best men for the job?
We're
No.
all going to say no. I think we could agree no.
Well, I guess I
But this
didn't
goes
really
back.
think of what your answer would be, but
And you can already think of my answer.
it is kind of, how could really anybody argue with that?
It goes back to that famous question of who really, anybody in this entire world, who really has the ability to run a country, to take care of
And my
it.
feeling is that it's someone who is really good at business and management.
Obama. I just said that to
The
get
guy who's never worked for a business.
Did you hear the new John Edwards scandal? Well, not new. It's old.
He had
It's
a
just being
baby?
rehashed.
Yeah.
And like all these people are coming out saying, "Oh yeah, he yelled at me and told me to keep it covered up," and they did the paternity test and it was his kid, and it's just this big old nasty mess. It's still going on.
Well, there's something on the front
cool wife
pages
of
of the tabloids about something about Obama's affair and baby, and Michelle is having to cover it up for him. What is that about?
Who the hell knows? I don't know. I don't know.
We all know it's Sarah Palin's
It's on National
child anyway.
Enquirer, so I don't.
That's funny.
I
One
think
of
that
Sarah Palin's daughters.
I think our process, good intentions, but it may not even be the process so much as the fact that we've made it so hard on the elected officials that the good people don't want to bother.
Right.
It's too
That
much
might be true.
headache. And you'd have to kind of be independently wealthy because you're not really going to make any money doing it.
Same thing for like the government workers, the people who work in the courthouses, the people who clerk for the judges, all these people that are or like doctors. That's what I meant. Doctors and nurses and everything. It's like the good people don't want to be a part of that because
Good
they know
people don't
about
want
the
to be a
scandals.
doctor?
Right.
How do you get that?
Well, like when you look at like the doctors who, like the dentists who, or like the orthopedic surgeons. Orthopedics, is that right? Orthodontic surgeons. Sorry. Orthodontic surgeons. There's another word for that. Oral surgeon. Jesus, here we go. Where you hear all those horror stories about how the things they do to their patients when they're under. And same thing with regular doctors or surgeons or nurses or anybody who just, manipulates the people's privacy and their safety. And it's people like that cause other people to turn away from that profession because they don't want to do it. That lawyers, great example. Lawyers are assholes. Well, yeah, some of them are. And then I've noticed like these new attorneys, they either go down one or two. I'm totally editing this out because they might listen.
Let's include it. It's good stuff.
I've seen them go down one of two paths. Either they're going down the path of I don't want to be an asshole, and this job is turning me into one, and they leave, or they embrace it and all right, let's go, fuck people over. That's one or two ways. That's what you have to do to be a lawyer.
I
You've
think
got to go out there and litigate. You got to kill people.
There's a middle road there. There's some people who manage to embrace
I
the
think it takes a lot of
profession.
years to find that middle road. Because I do know some decent attorneys at my place. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
Most of them are decent attorneys.
Just edit the whole conversation.
I'm taking all this out. I don't want
I don't
this on
even know if
record.
it's fair to say that a disproportionate amount of lawyers are bad guys. Any more bigger proportion than
See, and that's hard to figure out.
salesmen or
Yeah, that's true.
car mechanics.
I do agree that it's not fair to say, but I don't agree with the fact that it might not be disproportionate, or that it might be, or whatever. Whatever I need to say that I think there are.
yeah.
I think there is. I think the majority of them are assholes. But I know that there's no proof of that.
No.
I just know all the
I
ones
think,
that I know.
they're thrown into a bad position because they have to do with things
They have to fight.
that are probably not a pleasant situation for you.
Right. Pretty crazy.
But in terms of electing the best people, I guess
I do agree with you that
I just
think
think
the good
we've gotten to
people
the point
don't
where we
wanna do it.
discourage people from doing it.
Like Oprah. I remember everybody was like, Oprah needs to run for president or something, blah, blah. She'd be perfect. And sure enough, she probably would be perfect.
She
but
might
she
be.
doesn't want to do it.
Oh, well,
Who wants to get
Why
into
would
that?
you want that headache?
Well, I think it'd be a pay cut for her more than anything.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's depressed right now because she didn't get the Olympics.
Is she still depressed because she gained all that weight, too?
I don't know about that.
Better edit that out. You're gonna be killed.
Oprah's coming after me. Okay, well, that's our show. And,
Is that the
Is
end?
that the show?
that's the end of our debate show. Now it's time for the movie review with Andrew. I saw The Heartbreak Kid last night. Have you guys seen it? If anybody's seen it, it'd be you.
What's it about?
Isn't that
It's the
old?
Farrelly Brothers, 2 years. It's the Farrelly Brothers movie with Ben Stiller and Malin Ackerman from Watchmen and Michelle Monaghan. I'm in love with her. And other people. And it was from the guys who made Dumb and Dumber and There's Something About Mary and
never
Shallow
saw that.
Hal and all those crazy movies. And it was crazy. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Well, that's great. That's my movie review.
The end.
This has been our show. We didn't really introduce ourselves this time. We should have. So,
No, we
okay,
don't
well,
need
okay,
to.
we're it's the beginning of the show again. We're going to introduce ourselves. Hello and welcome to Valerie's screwing with the microphone. Hello and welcome to BAM, Week 2, Podcast 2, whatever the hell. Should we even say the date? What is it? The 9th or something?
October the 9th. It's 2009.
Well, what's some historical reference so people know the date?
Tomorrow's
We'll
the
say-
annual Columbus Day Parade.
Today.
Oh, I got to go protest.
Yeah.
Seriously? Is it tomorrow?
I'm sorry.
No,
I
that's
cut
cool.
you off.
What happened?
What?
Is it
He
Columbus
said-
Day on Monday?
Yeah.
I'm going to go protest.
And actually, Monday is actually his birthday.
Oh, we are so talking about that next week.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I
I
was
cut
going
you
to say
off.
we bombed the moon today.
Bomb the moon, yes. Didn't you hear about that?
What?
Yeah. It's crazy.
What are you talking
I don't know
about?
the details, but I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute. What?
As part of a scientific test to see if, I guess, if there's water.
Yeah?
We were
They
screwed with it.
bombed it, and then they had another
Says NASA
satellite
crashed a
follow it in
satellite.
and just collect all those particles before
Oh. You know, I think I did hear something about that.
I was awake, and then I woke up at 5 today
Why did you wake up at 5?
just to try to get in early to do the inventory. Gotta wake myself up an hour earlier. But yeah, they were talking about that, and it was live while they were.
What kind of
Well, we
bomb
bomb
was it?
We bomb our own country, so why can't we bomb the moon?
That's a topic you could put down.
All right.
Why is it okay for us to have nuclear power and somebody other country can't?
I thought you were going to say some of the other planets. Next week
that's a
on
good
BAM.
topic. Why?
Why is it okay?
Yeah.
Well, did we not let them do that? We should talk about it. Separately. Did we not let them? Is that, do you know that for sure?
We started a war with Saddam Hussein because he
He wanted to go blow
supposedly
up the
might
moon?
have. No, not the moon part. I said, why is it okay for us to have nuclear weapons?
Oh, well, that's a never-ending debate right there. I don't think it is okay, but...
Isn't that your favorite kind?
Well, yeah. All right, next week we'll do
Because we had it
nuclear.
first.
Next week on BAM, we'll be talking about nuclear weapons,
Columbus Day.
Columbus Day,
And
and the moon.
our honored forefather, Christopher Columbus.
Forefather my ass. I want him. Well, he's already dead. No. I want him dead. Wait.
You know, I heard
Mission
that,
accomplished.
that Jay Leno show.
Uh-huh.
It's funny because I've actually still watched
You're
it.
watching it now?
I'm not watching it faithfully every night, but you know how you don't want to get involved in a whole long hour show and you just want to have something on for a few minutes while you get ready to go to bed. Well, I started putting it on. And it's kind of fun. And I heard last night that the ratings are terrible.
Good. We'll
You
talk
don't
about
like
that
to-
too.
You don't like Jay Leno?
I think it's just different. It's not. I never found him funny ever. I only watched him for the guests and
think-
for his interns because his interns were funnier than he was.
Ooh,
And
David
they don't even
Letterman.
have that anymore. Oh, you gonna add that there too?
Yeah,
That is crazy.
he's such a jerk.
But I think he did the right thing. He did it the right way. I
I
screwed
don't-
up, and I'm
I
not going to let
totally-
you ruin my career. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he made it all sort of a joke.
I didn't actually hear it, so I'll watch him saying it on his show. So I'll watch that. And then there was something else that happened this week that I should watch besides South Park. But there was something else. Somebody else made a statement or something. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I'll watch the David Letterman thing, and we'll put that on the agenda. All right, tune in next week. We'll be back for something.
Bye.
Say goodbye, George.
That's who I am this week.
Yeah. I don't even think we said your name at all today.
You know what somebody did on the Columbus thing? I heard on the radio this morning.
What?
Somebody who's opposed to it, maybe it was you.
No, because I completely forgot.
They sent an email to, I don't know, to the newspaper or the mayor's office or something, and said that they said, I'm so and so, the guy who runs the Columbus Day Parade, organizes it, and I just wanted to let you know that we're not going to have it this year due to a lack of funds. And
The
so-
protest?
The parade.
Oh.
And someone did that illegally. said they were him, and we're not going to have it this year.
Oh, that's funny.
And then the police or somebody called the guy and said, "Is this true?" And I haven't, because they're involved. And then he found out that someone had used his name and done that, so they're investigating. Starting it off on the right foot again this year.
God bless America. All right, good night, people. We're going to bed or something.
Not together.